looking for some permanent job, temporary job. I'm working at Grewe.
It was so fun.
On the Great Boom. I do too.
Go for it. Go for it. It was so fun. It was so, yeah, it was so fun.
They're still kind of like in like
Right, yeah. I guess if there's a shiny thing about it, there's a staff quit or left, so the other one they did like
started yet, so I'm just kind of panning around. not going to work.
Anyone out who's been out of like, if it likes me today, so that's what we just had
Oh, I got one. That's it. Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. This has been a really fun day.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is pretty soon because some of the press gets to go. But it's been fun. So I'm gonna go. I have to go say hi to Mary. Mary.
How are you? We went back. It's a group of dogs. It sounds like the big one.
Good morning.
Good morning.
For those that have a seat, take your seats. And good morning. And can you hear me okay out there? All right, if at any point you can't, please raise your hand, especially the folks in the back. Unfortunately, we have it maxed out in volume right now. But good morning and welcome to our library. My name is Joe Pelka. I'm a volunteer with COS Reads, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies today. First off, I want to thank all these volunteers out here that have done so much with so little to create so much. And it's all been a volunteer effort and probably a labor of love. Most importantly, I want to thank Christ the King Lutheran Church, because quite obviously, if it wasn't for them, their support, and them inviting us in, we wouldn't be here. So with that in mind, we'll have a number of speakers, and our very first speaker is Carla Powers. Carla serves as Director of COS Reads. Carla?
Tell me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Tell me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Tell me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Yes!
Oh, this is such a fun day. Okay, but I did write a speech, so here we go. What a ride we've been on. From the opening of Rockrimmon Library in 1989, we've enjoyed and benefited from a wonderful staff and programs. We loved our award-winning Pikes Peak Library District and Rockrimmon branch. When many of us woke up on October 17th to learn that Rockrimmon Library was slated to close in just 1.5 months, it was as if a bombshell went off in our community. Thanks to Dave Donaldson, Nancy Hinton, Bill Wysong, and others. We managed the quick learning curve. We went to the City Council, County Commissioners, and the Pikes Peak Library District Board of Trustees, including offering $91,000 in pledges, you guys, to keep our library open for another year while all other options were explored. Time was against us, and Rockrimmon Library closed its doors for good November 30th. Many of us are still reeling from the shock. If you want to know more about what happened, we've created a timeline for you here. Okay. However, our community didn't just lay down and die with the library's closing. Like a phoenix, we couldn't be extinguished.
That's right.
We wanted to help our community fill the void left by Rockrimmon's closure, even if we had to do it ourselves. First, we tried to save Rockrimmon Library's footprint in hopes that someday a Pikes Peak Library District Rockrimmon Library would return to that special spot. However, by mid-January, we realized we simply could not do this within the time limits and funds collected. We needed to look for someplace who could house us as soon as possible, and we wanted a place close by. On January 29th, we signed an agreement with Christ the King Lutheran Church, a very welcoming, all-inclusive church. They bent over backwards for us, allowing us to dream and grow within their walls. In February, we had our first book donation day, but we received so many quality books we had to stop. We joyfully went about setting out the books and preparing our volunteers. Thank you so much to all of those who helped in so many ways. On April 3rd, Reading at the Rockrimmon Interim Library quietly opened its doors to our community. During this month, we increased our programs from the initial 2 to 10 programs. I love to see the rekindling of groups, such as our Toddler Time Children and Parent Community. Now, here we are on May 10th, surrounded by our friends and family, celebrating what would seem unattainable, that a bunch of volunteers would band together and start a library complete with over 3,000 circulating materials, a computer lab, quality programs, all within 4 months. Thank you to our many, many volunteers who, if they hadn't stepped up, we wouldn't be here, starting with Robin. Through her cordial persistence, she coaxed this library into being. She's created a community of trained volunteers who have donated books, shelves, sorted books, and continue to volunteer for the sheer fun of it. You can be sure that when this library closes each night, everyone who volunteers leaves feeling proud of this wonderful place that we've created. Thank you.
Carla just mentioned a very important person in this process, and that's Robin Karasopoulos. Robin's been a long-time member, part of our effort from the very, very beginning. But most important, she was the emphasis. She was the guardian angel. She was the power broker and the doer that created this library. Without her, well, perhaps someone else would have done it. But with her, it came out really, really good. So may I introduce Dr. Robin Karasopoulos.
For heaven's sakes, Joe. Thank you so much. That's not really true, but it was nice of him to say it anyway. Just like Carla, the first people that I want to say thank you to is Christ the King Lutheran Church, because truly, truly, without them sharing their space with us, we would not be here. And they have been so generous, their entire congregation and staff, and Pastor Ashley and Diane and Alan, thank you, thank you, thank you. We cannot thank you enough. What Carla did not tell you in her speech is that through her sheer will and determination, Colorado Springs Reads was, came into being altogether. While the rest of us have kind of had our moments, Carla's never wavered even for 1 second in her devotion to getting a library back into the Rockrimmon area, ever. She works hours and hours and hours, and I can tell you that because I routinely get texts and emails from her at 12, 1, and 2 in the morning, and she has to get up at dark 30 to take care of her grandchildren, who are with her now. So I believe that the entire Rockrimmon community owes Carla a big, huge thank you for all she's done. I'd also like to thank Joe Pelka and Veronica Baker. Veronica's over there. They have put in more hours than we can count in getting this library going. And even though they work politically with Colorado Springs Reads to try to get a new library, we have called them so many times and said, Joe, Veronica, we need you. We need help. And they're here literally within 5 minutes every single time. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. It was just in January that we realized that there's no saving our old library space. In less than 4 months, our community got together and made this library and community space. And like Carla said, with programs like Toddler Time, Coffee and Conversation, yoga, stretch and meditation, pause to read, math tutoring, we have so much. If you think about it, our community rallied together really, really quickly. We accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. So many people have been involved in getting the library to this point. We've had businesses like Bomb Bomb donate computers. USA Swim gave us a printer. Hooked on Books gave us books. Lowe's donated bookshelves. It's been wonderful how many people have supported us. We also have had over 1,000 volunteer hours put into this library so far. We've had many, many people in the community donate money, books, bookshelves. Many, many people came in to sort, put stickers on books, and shelf the books. We have people like Elizabeth Carter, who does our PR, Megan Jackson and Angelique Peralta Sipos, who maintain our websites, Karen Agee, who organizes our programs, Beth Carlson organizes our volunteers, and Renee Ludlam, who made our beautiful signs. Julie Bishop, Gary, and Susan Dean have spent countless hours here. Each of these people have given their time generously and with absolutely no compensation whatsoever. There's many, many more people to thank, but I would literally be here all day standing here if I was to do that. The number of volunteers who come into this library every day to make it run is incredible, and I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. We've had volunteers in here literally from ages 9 to 99. Dave Brager was our 99-year-old who was in here. Unfortunately, he passed away unexpectedly about 2 weeks ago. But what a man he was. He could have stayed home and watched TV. He was 99 all day, right? And we would have not said a thing about it. But instead, he was generous, extremely kind, and resilient. And he came here and spent hours helping us stamp books and never complaining. When he was done with one project, he would look at me and he'd say, "What else have you got for me?" This man exemplifies our entire Rockrimmon community. We are kind, generous, and resilient. And if anyone has ever had any doubt about how good humanity really is, all they need to do is to come to our community here and see the example of goodness that's embodied within our community. Thank you to every one of you who's made this library possible. I am so proud to be a resident here. Our work here isn't done. We're still working to get a PPLD branch back in here. But until then, I hope that you guys will all enjoy our interim space and our community center. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. This church has been extremely important. You've probably heard that a few times. And our next speaker is the pastor of this church. I would like to introduce Pastor Ashley Ellinger.
Good morning. I am Pastor Ashley Ellinger, and this is Christ the King Lutheran Church, and it is an absolute joy to be with you here today. I can tilt it down? Okay. There we go. All right. At Christ the King, our mission is to celebrate God's grace through acts of love and service. And this isn't just a tagline, it's how we attempt to live our life every day. It's how we attempt to do community. So when Colorado Springs Reeds approached us at the end of December and asked if we consider sharing our space with the community, the answer was obvious. We said yes, because we've been served by Christ and we're called to serve others. Many of us live here in the Rockrimmon area. We walked to the old library, we brought our kids, we attended story time and events, we checked out books, and it was an essential part of our neighborhood. When I explain to people who are visiting where our church is located, I say it's like those old Fisher-Price maps, like the little Fisher-Price carpets where the winding road circles around the school and the fire station and the hospital and the grocery store and the library, and there in the middle is a little church. That's how we see ourselves, woven into the map of this neighborhood. So when Rockrimmon Library closed, it felt like an essential piece had gone missing, and we were sad. But sadness is never the end of a story. Here, we believe that God calls us into hope, into action, and into community. In a world that so often says there is not enough, we believe that there is always room at the table. Whether that's communion table, or a seat at toddler story time, or an extra cup of coffee poured out for a friend, we are called out of scarcity and into lives of abundance. So, again, for the congregation here at Christ the King, we look to God as our example of welcome, inclusion, and grace. And today, as we celebrate this new chapter for the Interim Library, I want to say how proud I am of this church for saying yes, for opening its doors, and for believing that a church is more than a building. It's a gathering place, a shelter, a resource, and a gift to be shared. Thank you, COS Reads. Thank you, all you volunteers at the Interim Library. To the donors, to everyone who helped make this possible by choosing to believe in the power of a community shaping its own future. Thank you for showing up and filling this space with life. We are honored to be a part of your story.
Thank you, Pastor. You probably noticed me a minute ago coming up and talking to the speakers very quietly, and yes, you're right, I made a mistake, which just goes to show that we're all human. So our next speaker is going to be from our City Council, Councilor Dave Donaldson, who represents this area, the northwest part of the Springs, happens to be District 1. Dave has been instrumental in helping us not only first try to keep our library, now trying to get it back, but also helping in the process of opening this interim library. If it wasn't for Dave, I don't think we would have gotten anywhere as far as we did, and we're still going to be going. Dave ran for election just recently. You probably knew that. But one of the things that I noticed that was really, really important is how one of his constituents referred to him as the Honorable Dave Donaldson. I can't think of a higher honor, no pun intended, for this man and for what he's done for this community. So ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Dave Donaldson.
So I want to say thank you for that round of applause and that greeting. I also, first, so I don't forget, I want to thank Christ the King Lutheran Church for allowing the library to be placed here. Right, it's the perfect location. It's so close to where the former library was, and hopefully where it will be again at some point. I want to just recognize a few people I see here in the audience without taking too much time to do that, but I think it's interesting who showed up here today. I noticed that Steve Abbott, the former librarian, somewhere in the back, I believe, Ken File, the principal at Trailblazer. There he is. And Ken has let Carla and us have the meetings over there in the gymnasium over the last months. And there's been big groups that have shown up. You're all welcome whenever Carla has the next one to come, and it's where the kind of the strategy used to take place on this whole thing. I want to say thank you also to Joe and Robin and Veronica. There are three big parts, and there are many others, but they're just three that come to mind as being critical to what's happened. Can't skip over Carla though, and I'm going to start with Carla. And you know, when we first met, one of the first two meetings, and I said, look, I can't lead this. I am on city council. There's 100 issues that are always coming at us. We need somebody who can really focus in on this. And Carla has done it and done it fantastically. And I have to say, Carla is so nice. She always makes me feel bad when she comes to council. And I have a certain way I present myself or I speak. And Carla will be like, she'll be talking to council. Don't you guys know that everybody would really like it, and you would be like heroes if you would keep the library open? And I'm there like, man, I need to like tone myself down and be more like Carla. But she's smart, she's organized, extremely organized and driven, and that's a big reason why we're here today. So let's give Carla a round of applause. Congratulations to all of you who've been part of this. It's amazing what you've accomplished. It's exactly what citizens should do when they don't get what they really deserve out of their elected representatives in this appointed board, PPLD, Board of Trustees. don't give up. Don't get angry and say, yeah, the process is broke. You know, it just, we get what we get. Organize like you did and like we did, and push back, and we fought to keep it open. And I have to say, I was totally amazed that failed. When they called that second meeting, and they were going to vote again, I thought, I can see how this is going to go. They finally seen the light. They realized we've raised $90,000. The owner has lowered the price. You guys have come and spoken time after time, and they're going to vote yes. It didn't happen, but and then this came out of it. So that's amazing, and that's great, and congratulations to all of you. I'm committed, I want to say that, I'm committed to getting a Pike Peak Library District library back in the Northwest in District 1, and really as close to where it was as we can get it, okay? I think I will be appointed as one of the liaisons, not immediately on Tuesday, but shortly after that I'll become one of the liaisons, and this will be, you know, on my short list of things to accomplish in this term, is to get a library back. Something I've learned on council is you always want, like, okay, we're gonna accomplish this, and then it's gonna be over. Then we can all relax and go back to doing what we used to do. It's not gonna happen. It's always gonna be something. So keep doing this kind of thing and other issues also. Not just this library, but when council or whatever elected body doesn't reflect what the citizens want, do this again. Remember how successful this has been so far. Remember how good you feel about this, and channel that energy to keep doing it. I would challenge you to do that. And then finally, 4 minutes and 40 seconds right now. Finally, hold elected officials, elected representatives responsible for what they do, okay? Not what they say, but what they actually do. We're supposed to represent you. When that board of trustees voted to close the library that day, I don't believe any of the county commissioners spoke against it. And I think I was the only one on council that spoke against it. With the uproar that you created, led by this very kind woman over here, Carla, others came on board, and then there were more. And then we did sign a letter, and we sent it to the board of trustees, and they ignored it. And then I am willing to remove members of the board of trustees to vote them out. And so, hold us accountable, not just for what we say, but the actions. When those votes happen, how do people vote? There will be 3 more members of City Council that will be up for re-election 23 months from right now. How do they work for you? Do they represent what you rightly, and I would say just honestly looking at this group, you're the people I ran to represent, people just like you that have played by the rules, paid your taxes, raised your families, and just want your neighborhoods to be protected by your elected representatives, not damaged. Not too much to ask. I pledge to you, I will keep doing that. Congratulations on what you've accomplished today.
Thank you, Dave. Our next speaker is Diane Zand. Diane is the president of the Church Council here at Christ the King. Again, it was only because of people like Diane that was willing to even consider us coming in and then wholly supported us coming in that we have what we have today. Diane?
I'm Diane Zand. I've been going to Christ the King since maybe 2016. The interesting thing, I was never on a church council before. I never helped with any of this. Small church. And they're like, hey, can you be on church council? Next thing you knew, I was president. And I feel like president for life, but I am not. Okay. So I want to say that Councilman Dave he said something interesting about heroes. Heroes are ordinary people who step up and do extraordinary things, right? All of us can be heroes. And I think that we really are here today. This is something that this church, if I were to ask our members, what represents us, it's all about service. And how can we serve? So I wouldn't have to pull my reading glasses out and read what I wrote, but I would just say that we are so grateful. We really are. We're so grateful for the opportunity to pair and really get to know our community better. It is really easy to drive by churches that are only open on Sunday. And you don't know what goes on inside of that church as you drive by them during the week. Well, we are open during the week now. So thank you guys so much for that. And it's, I would just say, come and check us out during the week. Come and see what's all happening. And if any of you brought work gloves, we are actually having a work day. This is my public service announcement after this is done today from 12 to 2. So I know we're going to go and weed and do different things here. So trying to do some different things. I think we got some ideas planned for other community activities. But again, I want to thank all of you for being the heroes that help us stand up and do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Our next speaker is from the County Commissioners, Mr. Bill Wysong, who represents this area on the County Commission, which happens to be District 3. And you're probably wondering, well, the library is its own district. They have their own appointed leaders. So why is the City Council and the County Commissioners involved? Probably some of you don't know, but I'll tell you, that it's the City Council and the County Commissioners that decide who those trustees will be that are appointed to the Board of Trustees for the Library District. So the county and the city do play a role in this otherwise independent district. Bill just recently won election for this area, and of course I'm very, very glad that he did. But even before he was elected, Bill was speaking on our behalf at library board meetings, asking them, one, don't close it. Bet you he's asking a whole lot of other questions that I'm not really aware of. I'd love to know what some of those answers were. But he's been part of it from the beginning. So, Bill Wysong, come on up.
Thank you, John. I misrepresented or misread Carla's original email. I thought she said I had 20 minutes. But I do need to put on my reading glasses. I do want to thank all of you that are here, Carla, and all the others that put so much time and effort into making this a reality. It's very important because it shows community, and you're going to keep hearing about how important community is. And also to thank the Christ the King Lutheran Church. Perfect location. It's going to make all of this very important to continue to grow. And we are gathered to celebrate the community because the community did come together, not only in funds raised, but the number of people that have volunteered. And this is what I'm going to call a classic case of making lemonade from lemons. And the lemonade is pretty good, by the way. But I just want to make a comment that we do need to look at both sides. And I know this doesn't sound very popular, but it's in order to know what we're doing and what we're fighting against, understand what PPLD is up against. I got an email from one of the group here and was very upset about a memo that came out from PPLD. They said, I haven't seen the memo. Please forward it to me. I was a little taken back by that memo. I can understand why they wrote it, but words have meaning. Tone is very, very important. And I think that this also gives this group an opportunity to really show that they've gone that extra mile. They have gotten background checks. They have used certified therapists for the Pause to Read program and all the others. And that is to be commendable because of the depth and the detail that you as the community get to experience. Even though I'm not on the library advisory board, they still hear from me. And we have meetings a couple times a month. And guess what comes up a couple times a month? It's this. And you need to be very proud of what you've done. This group, this community has set the bar with raising money, opening this unique library concept, and everyone here is to be congratulated. But I don't want to just end there. Things are changing in this community. Community is starting to be heard. And I just want to provide a little bit of a teaser. Tuesday afternoon, there's going to be a press briefing at the Pikes Peak Regional Office of Emergency Management. Community can make things happen. And put that in your calendars. Stay tuned, watch the news Tuesday night, because this is something that is very important, not only to this community, but the whole Front Range community in the city and the Front Range community in the county. So with that, again, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Our last speaker, and you know that old saying, last but not least, definitely applies in this situation, but someone had to start and someone had to end. That's reality, folks. Our last speaker is Nancy Henjum. She's part of the City Council. And Nancy represents District 5 of the City Council. There are 2 City Council liaisons to the Library Board. Nancy was one this past year. We certainly hope that she stays in that position, just like we hope that Dave is appointed that position by his colleagues. But Nancy has been very, very important in this quest to keep this library, to get it back, and to hold certain parties accountable. And we very much appreciate what Nancy has done. So without further, Nancy?
Thank you very much. And I think I'm the one standing between you and cake and punch and ribbon cutting. So I don't want to take too long. But before I start, I do want to acknowledge we have another City Council person in our presence right now. Would you please welcome Brandy Williams, City Council member for District 2.
So I take it we have another ally for the library council. I want to start by reading a quote from an author that means a lot to me. Her name is Margaret Wheatley. And this quote is from her book, Turning to One Another. Maybe I need to buy a copy here for this library. So it goes. Oh, shoot. I just lost it. There is no power greater than a community discovering what it cares about. Ask what's possible, not what's wrong. Keep asking. Notice what you care about. Assume that many others share your dreams. Be brave enough to start a conversation that matters. Talk to people you know. Talk to people you don't know. Talk to people you never talk to. Be intrigued by the differences you hear. Expect to be surprised. Treasure curiosity more than certainty. Invite in everybody who cares to work on what's possible. Acknowledge that everyone is an expert about something. Know that creative solutions come from new connections. Remember, you don't fear people whose story you know. Real listening always brings people closer together. Trust that meaningful conversations can change your world. Rely on human goodness and stay together. Wow. I have to say that what I am seeing right here in front of me, led very much by Carla Powers, is the embodiment of that quote. This is what community cares about. And you all of you, are leading by example what good leadership looks like. I think the Board of Trustees has a lot to learn from you all. And I've just been so impressed with Carla, with everyone. I'm not going to try to name all the names because I will leave people out. But the way you have approached this challenge and this obstacle and this wrong has been nothing short of just phenomenal. And I'm so impressed and so inspired by all of you. I do want to tell you that I will be the liaison for the next 2 years. I will be appointed and voted on Tuesday. And I will work with Councilmember Donaldson, who will get appointed, I'm certain, after we do interviews or after we have a meeting soon. And we'll be working with other council members to really get the library back. It needs to happen, whether we need to remove members, whatever it is of the board, whatever it is that we need to do, we will do it. Because not only are books important and knowledge and inquiry and curiosity and all those things, but community and connecting and being together is paramount. And again, you all are the embodiment of that. So, and I want to remind you, I don't need to remind you, you are still paying taxes for your library district. So, damn it, we need to get that library back. And so, with that, thank you very much. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Christ the King Lutheran. I mean, all the thank yous have been said numerous times. My heart is so full. This makes me so happy. And let's I guess maybe cut a ribbon and get some cake. Thank you.